What's happening? What's happening to y'all? Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. I'm going to wait till a few people get in here. I know some people probably still at work today. Some people had to work today. Some people are at work today. It is Halloween. It is Halloween. Get on in here. Get on in here. We're going to talk about what I seen that Alvo posted. Yes. Yes, Lord. Get on in this chat box. Get on in this chat box. It is Halloween. We got nothing but a bunch of ghosts, goblins, and all kinds of spooky tricks. And the number one trickster on the block is Alvo. Hey, Dee. Hey, what's up? What I'm going to talk about today is Alvo. The title is Alvo is leaving Shamar. I saw that Alvo posted earlier. He said, let me see. Alvo said he is not on probation anymore. I guess it was dropped. He said the charges were dropped on him and that he is not on probation and that he can go and live his life freely and that he can do his content and that he can go back home. Yes, y'all heard me. You heard me. Do I need to repeat myself? Yes, Deidre Grant. Alvo posted today, a little bit earlier today. Let me tell you, let me rephrase it. Let me tell you what he said one more again. Alvo said he is not on probation and that his charges are dropped and that he is free. He is going to do his content and he is going back home. These are Alvo words, not mine. If I'm lying, I'm flying. And baby, I ain't flying. Didi, you say he's lying? Let's talk about it. What if he ain't lying? Remember, Alvo was saying that he was in Atlanta, that he had to stay in Atlanta for a little while until he get all his business straight. On YouTube, he posted it, did he? Yeah. Where is home? Home can be back in Houston. Remember, he kept playing these little Houston games about that apartment and everything. Alvo did say now that he was in Atlanta. He had to be in Atlanta until he got all of his business straight. Remember, Alvo said he could not go back to Houston at the time that he got out of jail because he had to stay for a little while to take care of his business. That's what he kept saying. That's just content. He want people to think that. I thought about that too. I said that too. I said Alvo just front. You know, like I said, it's Halloween. And he's full of spooky tricks. Now, what get me though is he kept saying this though, y'all. Alvo kept saying this. Alvo kept saying that when he got out of jail, that he had to stay in Atlanta for a little while until he take care of his business. He kept saying that. Now, he did keep saying that. And he said once he take care of his business, he was going back to Houston. Now, as I said earlier, Alvo made a post. And Alvo said he is not on probation, that his charges were dropped, that he's going back to doing his content, and he's going back home. Where is home? He's from Florida, but his mom and them and all that, they live in Atlanta, right? His home, his new little home was Houston. And nobody don't really know if he still got that apartment. he was playing these little mind games, you know, because everybody was saying, yeah, Alvo, you don't have that apartment no more in Houston. You don't have that apartment. But remember, Alvo did say before he went to jail that he paid that apartment up for 3 months. We all assume that he just BSing, right? What if he's not? What if he did pay that apartment up for 3 months? What if he came down from Florida to go to Atlanta because he had to take care of his business? Like he said, he had to be there in Atlanta for a little while until he took care of his business. And maybe once after he took care of his business, he was going to go back to Houston. He claimed he liked it better in Houston anyway. Maybe because don't nobody really know him. He done been around Atlanta for so long. Everybody know what type of person he is, and everybody know what time it is with him. So maybe he don't really want to be in Atlanta. But maybe, let me see what you're saying, Didi. I think he's saying because of the bad publicity he has been getting from social media. Boy, lying. That's cap. Well, I mean, what if he ain't lying? What? All right, check this out. Check this out. What if Alvo really did have to stay in Atlanta until he took care of his business, but he needed somewhere to stay? And as we seen, he was over by his mom and them house when he got back to Atlanta. But, you know, Alvo don't like staying there, or maybe he wore out his welcome staying at his mom and them house. As some people say, allegedly, they say allegedly it's not a good situation for him to be by his mama house. So maybe he made a pit stop over there until he could find somewhere else to go. And that somewhere else to go was Shamar's house. Remember, if y'all paid attention, Shamar had a little friend who was a dude that was half Mexican and something else. I don't know. It was a little cute little dude. And maybe, see that dude, he was with Shamar on one of Shamar's little bookings. And he told that little dude had problems at his house, wherever the little dude was staying at. And Shamar told that little dude he's more than welcome to come stay at Shamar's place for a while. So when Alvo heard that, Alvo could have been like, okay, well, you told that dude he could come stay at your house. Why can't I stay at your house until I get my business straight? Maybe they had an agreement that Alvo could stay over there by Shamar's place until he get his business straight. And once he get his business straight, then he was going to go back to Houston. We about to find out because he sure posted that today. Let me see what you're saying. Lying through that gap. He always lies. So what happened to Shamar? Nothing ain't happening with Shamar. What right now, Shamar and that manager, as I updated y'all before, Shamar is working on his second Tubi movie, y'all. And the manager is the director of the movie. Okay. So the manager is the director of the new Tubi movie that Shamar is going to be in. It'll be his second Tubi movie. So, but as far as Alvo making that post today that he posted, that he's no longer on, he's not on probation, that all of the charges are dropped, and then now he can do his content peacefully, and then now he can go back home. I guess home is Houston. Alvo posted that today. I'm just letting y'all know what he posted. That's what he posted. So that's what it is. So maybe he's telling the truth. And a lot of people know and say that Alvo is nothing but a liar. A lot of us know that Alvo is a trickster. He's very tricky. He say one thing, he do something else. Alvo said that he was, let me see what you're saying. I wonder if that manager had something to say about Alvo there. I don't know if the manager had anything to say about Alvo being there. The only way that manager would have something to say about anybody over there at Shamar's apartment is if that manager's name is on Shamar's lease. If the manager's name is not on Shamar's lease, then nobody has the right to tell Shamar who can come over there by his place. That's the only thing. If the manager's name is not on Shamar's lease, then Shamar can have whoever he want to have at his apartment. The manager can't tell him what kind of company to have over there. You know, I mean, as far as apartment policies go, there are some apartments that you can only allow a guest to stay over there for so long, and then they have to leave. But Alvo ain't even been over there by Shamar's house a good full week yet. So all I know is that that Alvo said he did have to stay in Atlanta for a little while until he handled his business. He kept saying that. He said once he take care of his business and handle his business, then he was going back to Houston. I remember him saying that. Let's see what did he say. He looked like he was going to stay there forever. Yeah, he had his bags with him. But the thing about it, Alvo was by his mom in the house. I think his mama stayed with with her mama, which is Alvo's grandmother. And you had all the people in and out of their house. Alvo probably is uncomfortable being over there like that, because every time that Alvo go over there where his mama live at, he don't stay long. He try to find somewhere else to go. So I don't think that that's a very comfortable situation, because if it was a comfortable situation for Alvo to stay over there where his mama live at, then Alvo would stay over there and he wouldn't be leaving like that every time he go over there. Every time Alvo go by his mom in the house, he leave. So Alvo probably said to himself, let me tell you another thing. Check this out, y'all. Pay attention to what I'm about to say. Alvo said, once again, I'm telling y'all that he had to stay in Atlanta for a little while so he could take care of some business. All right. He announced today that he's not on probation and that his charges will drop. He's going to do his content and he can move back home. Home to him is Houston, right? But the thing about it is, guess what? He went to jail behind Shamar. The charges was behind Shamar. Remember, Shamar took his name off in Alvo's bond? Alvo was on probation. He went to jail behind Shamar. So guess what? Alvo was a mastermind. Y'all better listen to me when I tell you this. Alvo was a mastermind. So guess what? If Alvo was in jail behind Shamar, Shamar took his name off in Alvo's bond, it makes sense for Alvo to go over there by Shamar and butter Shamar up. Lay up with Shamar. Cozy up to Shamar to get Shamar to drop those charges. That's probably what it was all about. That's probably the reason why Alvo went by Shamar in the first place, to get Shamar to drop the charges. That's why he went over there, the lovey-dovey with Shamar, the buttercup up with Shamar, the layup with Shamar, to Buki butted up with Shamar, is because Alvo went to jail behind Shamar. Shamar dropped the bond. Shamar's name was on Alvo's bond. Shamar took his name off Alvo's bond. Alvo then started ripping and running, trying to get the heck out of Atlanta, that's the reason why he went to Houston in the first place. Alvo would have never went to Houston or anywhere if they wasn't looking for him. He tried to go and run. When Shamar dropped his name off that bond and all HELL started breaking loose, because Messy Doll and LaShawn was reporting Alvo, and the people was looking for Alvo to throw Alvo in jail. That's when Alvo went to Houston. That's when he left. Let me see what y'all saying. Alex's name might be on that lease. It might be. I don't know. We about to find out a lot. I believe when I see it. No, he did not go to jail behind Shamar. It was from him beating. They say because he beat up Clue, the charges are gone after he did the time. Dee, they said that those charges did not come up with Alvo beating up Clue. They said, this is what they saying. Alvo said himself, he went to jail behind Shamar. The charges on Clue didn't come up yet. That ain't why Alvo went to jail behind Shamar. They said that. Shamar and Alvo both said that. That's why Alvo went to jail. Alvo didn't go to jail behind Clue. That's what we was trying to say, that they were saying that Alvo probably gonna get more time, that he wasn't gonna get out that quick. Because if those charges on Clue popped up, that they was gonna stick Alvo with those charges too. So no, he didn't go to jail behind Clue yet. That was in a whole nother county with that happened. They didn't pull that up. They didn't pull that up yet. That's what everybody was talking about. They didn't get Alvo for the charges on Clue yet. He got in trouble and Shamar but bailed him out. It was not his fault. He went to jail. He did something to get arrested. How didn't he do nothing? How didn't he do nothing to Shamar? Well, I'm telling you, whatever it is, they both, even Shamar and Alvo said it. You listen to what Alvo said. Alvo got in trouble behind Shamar. He said it himself. If you listen to the lives and stuff that he was saying, he said he forgives Shamar. He said if he wouldn't have never did what he did, then he would have never got in trouble in the first place. That's what he was saying, that him and Shamar squashed the beef between them two, that they forgave each other. Alvo went to jail behind Shamar. Alvo didn't get them charges yet behind Clue. That's what I was trying to find out. The charges behind Clue didn't come up because it was in a whole nother county that happened with Clue. They didn't pull that up on the charges on Clue yet. Yeah, so this the thing. This explains why Alvo went to Shamar's apartment and went to go stay with Shamar. Alvo went to stay with Shamar and butter up to Shamar so that Shamar could drop them charges on him. Once he went to jail, all the charges dropped. That ain't what Alvo just said. That ain't what he said. No, all the charges wasn't dropped because Alvo was supposed to got out and been on probation. Why he went to jail behind Shamar? What did do to Shamar? I don't know exactly what happened between Alvo and Shamar, but I'm telling you, Shamar and Alvo both confirmed out of their own mouth. They both said it, that Alvo went to jail behind something dealing with Shamar. And when Alvo got out of jail, Alvo said he was on probation. This is the reason why Alvo couldn't go to Houston. He had to stay in Atlanta. On his live, he said he had to get his stuff situated so that he can see about leaving because he was on probation when he got out of jail. That's why he couldn't go to Houston. That's why he had to go back to Atlanta. You see? That's why Alvo had to go back to Atlanta. He was on probation. And he had to get that probation straight before he was able to leave. He couldn't leave. He lied. So Shamar got Alvo arrested. Yeah. Then Shamar bailed him out because he had him arrested. I don't know if Shamar bailed him out. Alvo was on the run, remember? Alvo was on the run. Alvo left and went to Houston. Alvo went and turned himself in. Remember, Shamar kept telling Alvo, turn yourself in, turn yourself in. Alvo needed to turn himself in. Alvo eventually went on ahead and turned himself in. So Alvo left, went and turned himself in. And Alvo did what time he had to do. But guess what? He got out on probation. He was on probation when he just recently got out of jail. How did he put his name on a bail if he wasn't? He was on Shamar. Shamar had his name on Alvo's bond. That was the first time. Shamar had put his name on Alvo's bond. He went to court. He put his name on Alvo's bond, right? Alvo, let me see. He put his name. Shamar took his name when they got into it. Alvo and Shamar got into it real bad. Shamar got mad. We all saw Shamar when he went to the bond, the place, and was talking to the people. Shamar and Alvo got into a conflict. Shamar took his name off an Alvo's bond. That's why everybody was like, wait a minute. How is he putting his name on Alvo's bond and all the drama and mess was behind behind Shamar? Yeah. Took his name off that bond. That's when they came looking for him. That's when he went to Houston. He got tired of running because they kept leaking the address. Messy Dog and them kept leaking the address to where Alvo was at. He left one apartment in Houston and went to another apartment, remember? He was on the run. He decided that he was tired of all that. Shamar kept telling him to turn himself in. Everybody kept saying, Alvo, just turn yourself in. Get it over with. So he finally did turn himself in. The thing is, Alvo knew exactly what he was doing. So Shamar got him arrested, then bonded him out. Yeah, he had to, because his name was on the doggone bond. Hey, Chef Sky. I'm going to do like I always tell, like the other ones tell you, hit that like button. Woo! Happy Halloween. Hit that like button. Yeah. That's why I was like, wait a minute. How in the world is Shamar putting his name on Alvo's bond and the whole drama and mess was behind Shamar and Alvo? He sure did. Shamar sure did. And he took his name off that bond, like I said, and then that's what Alvo went and running. And Alvo ended up in Houston, like I said, and he got tired of running because they kept leaking his address where he was at. So he went on ahead, turned himself in. Did that little time, he got out. He was on probation when he recently got out, y'all. Now, Alvo made a post, like I keep telling y'all today, that he is not on probation, that the charges are dropped, and he's going to be doing his content, and he's going back home. And everybody want to know, where is home? Houston, Texas. We know he ain't going back to Florida. If Alvo wanted to go to Florida, he would have never went to Houston. If Alvo wanted to go to Florida, he would have went to Florida. He wouldn't have went to Houston. I mean, and when it comes to Alvo trying to be around his family members, he don't be around his family members for long. He may go there and make a pit stop and he leave. He is something dealing with him and his family. They may have love for each other, but him living with them ain't it. That ain't it. We done saw that. That ain't it. Alvo ain't finna go living with his family members. Whether they don't really want him there for long or whether he don't want to be there for long, whatever it is, Alvo ain't going to go live with his family members like that. He'll go over there for a little while, then he gone. So if Shamar's name was on the bond, Shamar took his name off in Alvo's bond because they got into it. They was looking for Alvo. Alvo ran to Houston. Messy Dog and them kept leaking out the address. So Alvo left one apartment and went to another apartment. Remember, they said Alvo was squatting in them apartments, right? Alvo got tired of being on the run. Shamar kept telling him to turn himself in. Everybody kept telling him to turn himself in. He got tired of running, so he turned himself in, y'all. He went back to Atlanta, turned himself in. He did a little 40 days, 40 nights in jail. He got out. He was on probation. Now, when he got out and he was on probation, he turned around and said he couldn't go back to Houston because he had to stay in Atlanta and to resolve whatever mess it was he had to resolve. He said over and over again he had to stay in Atlanta until he took care of his business. And once he took care of his business and got his business straight, then he was going back to Houston. That's what he said. Now, not today. Alvo makes a post and says that he's no longer on probation. He's off probation. He ain't on probation. And the charges are dropped. This is the reason why Alvo went to go live with Shamar for a little while, y'all. Alvo is a very calculated person. I would call him a mastermind, so to speak. Some of us can read straight through Alvo because we've been there, done that. You know, we know the drill. We can see straight through them. Some people, they don't catch it. They don't see it until after it happened. You know, Alvo went to go over about Shamar for a reason. Didn't I tell y'all something was up? I said, y'all, something is up. Alvo is up to something. Something is going on. So Alvo goes back over there and play nice and patty cake it up, lovey-dovey with Shamar. Okay? So that Shamar can drop them charges on him. The charges, he said, are dropped. And then he also said that the beef between him and Shamar is over with. He have nothing against Shamar, that they, whatever they needed to work out, they done worked it out. It's done and it's over with. And if this is the case, if this is true, then Alvo, maybe, according to Alvo, he's supposed to be going back to Houston. All of his charges are dropped. He's a free man. And he can do whatever he wants. One thing I can say, Alvo do play his cards right. Alvo play his cards right. He knows how to play it. And one thing Alvo always said, he said he knows Shamar. He said, I know Shamar. He know him. Sometimes you get people down to a science. Alvo is very calculated. He is a mastermind. He knows exactly what he's doing. Alvo had them probation and he had them charges on him like that. He had to do probation to finish doing his time because he got out of jail. He went over there by Shamar. The lovey-dovey was Shamar. The kissy poo was Shamar. The hugging and huggy-dovey playhouse with Shamar. He was cleaning up Shamar's apartment. You can hear it in the background. He said he was cleaning up. He had Taco Tuesday on Tuesday. He made taco, the lovey-dovey. He showed a video of him and Shamar in the bed together. Shamar calling him baby daddy. All of that. He knows how to get to Shamar, and he did exactly what he needed to do to get to Shamar so that those charges can be dropped, and he is no longer on probation according to what Alvo said. These are Alvo's words. Now, is he lying? We don't know. We don't know. Let me tell you something. We're gonna know sooner or later, more sooner than later. If we see Alvo go to Houston, if we see Alvo leaving Shamar's apartment, and we look and see Alvo on live, and we look in the background, and Alvo's back at that apartment in Houston again, y'all. Then we gonna know he never lost that apartment. Because remember, Alvo said he had that apartment paid up in Houston for 3 months. And he also said he had somebody watching that apartment while he was gonna do his little time in jail. But nonetheless, happy Halloween. It's spooky day, and ain't nothing spookier than Alvo, Alexander Green. Until next time, Love y'all.